Oops. So, Pokemon Unite, right? It released, it happened, and it's surprisingly not that bad. And I don't know if it's just because I've been looking for some kind of a Pokemon game to give me a challenge, or just any kind of game in general that gives me some kind of a good challenge. But I'm enjoying this game a lot. Is it the best game I've ever played? No. God, no. Quite frankly, I doubt I could even call it the best MOBA I've ever played. Not that I've realistically played a lot of MOBAs anyway. I mean, I played Dota like once, I played like one dude in Heroes of the Storm, and like maybe 4 characters in League, if I'm remembering that right. So I'm not really the biggest MOBA player on the planet, but I mean, I've dabbled in them a long time ago. I remember not liking them so much, but I do enjoy Pokemon Unite, so I guess that's character development. Regardless, I made a video on this game like a year ago before it released, when it was like first announced and everything, and I think I can safely say I was wrong about it. To kind of paraphrase it a little bit, I said this game would become nothing more than a little niche thing, kind of like Pokken Tournament, and how it started off kind of strong and then just kind of fell into obscurity. However, if they double down on the things they're doing right and kind of rework some of the things they're doing not so right, this game has a brighter future than Pokken does. That being said, what are they doing right? There's the gameplay. I mean, it is definitely a MOBA, and it's got its own little gimmick to it. I mean, instead of like destroying a tower and then moving on to the next one, you're scoring goals to destroy the towers and then move on to the next one. So I mean, it's pretty much a MOBA, yeah. It is a lot faster paced than a lot of other MOBAs that I've played, and maybe it's because I've never played any mobile MOBAs before, but you're on a 10-minute timer, which is honestly something that I do enjoy. Like, one of the main issues I have with other MOBA games is that they last too long. If I play one game of League, it's going to take 45 minutes to get through that game, and then I do another game, and it's another 45 minutes. And sometimes it lasts longer because things just come to a standstill. And this one, the timer helps. The game's also relatively pretty. I mean, as far as a mobile game goes, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, sure, the models themselves and a lot of the animations are ported directly from the mainline games, but I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, really, it's the texture work on the Pokemon that makes things look as good as they do. I mean, I don't know why Lucario is so glossy. None of the other Pokemon are that glossy, but I mean, okay, I do appreciate the effort. And then you've got the maps themselves, which actually look pretty good too. I mean, the basic 5v5 map is pretty much just your box standard plain-ass piece of bread map. It's good, but it just has that feel of, we didn't want to do anything crazy because this is the one you're going to see the most. But then the 4v4 and the 3v3 maps are just very pleasing to the eye. Good job, good show. That being said, having all these multiple modes at launch actually helps with replayability too. If you get sick of 5v5, just jump into a quick match and just kind of goof off for a little bit. I don't think anyone really takes those ones seriously. On top of that, as weird as it is to say, they've been surprisingly generous at launch. And I know it's a launch, so they're probably doing a whole bunch of events and stuff for launch, but I'm just gonna be real with you for a second. If you spent money on any of these Pokemon, you're either an idiot or you just have way too much money to burn. They're just giving out a ton of stuff for free right now. Speaking of money, let's go ahead and start there with the issues this game has. The game has a quote-unquote pay-to-win problem. Now, you might be wondering why that's in quotes. Technically, you can get everything in the game for free. Unless it's locked behind like the Battle Pass or something. All the Pokemon, all the items, all the upgrades, they can all be obtained for free. However, if you have the money, you can just pay to get all of that instead. Nothing in this game is truly locked behind a paywall. I mean, if you join the game a year late, then you're going to run into the same issues people are facing now a week after the game released. Except at that point, you're going to be fighting players who not only spent all their money all at once to get everything in the game, you're going to be fighting players who spent that entire year getting everything in the game that they wanted. And eventually, all the players who are affected by this right now, whether they paid money or not, will find a way to get everything to max level. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if someone just joined the game right now and they're fighting people who paid for everything, or if someone joined a year from now and have no intention of spending any money, they're gonna run into the same issue. So the way I see it, it's not really pay to win, it's pay for an early advantage, which eventually people are just gonna catch up to you anyway, so why bother wasting the money? Regardless, it's still an issue. I just think people are focusing on the wrong aspect of it. For me, what this really boils down to is a progression issue. So realistically, a new player is either going to be at a disadvantage to the point where they need to either spend a lot of money or spend a lot of time getting to an even playing field. So it's either waste your life or waste your money. There's no in between. That's the issue I'm seeing here. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say this is a good thing for the game to be doing. Situation's fucked regardless. I just think people are focusing on the wrong thing. But if you got a lot of people shouting, oh, pay to win, then you're just going to have the company play a semantics game and say, oh, well, it's not technically pay to win because, well, you can just get everything for free. Just gotta work for it. And that's still not good. The entire item progression system needs to be made more user-friendly, not what it is now. Either way, new players are going to be completely turned off the game because reaching a level playing field is going to become increasingly more impossible as time goes on. This isn't a good system. Aside from that, other issues are just like, I don't know, navigating the menus are kind of laggy. That's about it, really. Overall, the game is good, but it's fundamentally flawed in one of the main areas that matter most, which isn't good. Hopefully they get that sorted, because if not, then it's going to make potential new players want to stay as far away from the game as possible. But that's about all I really have to say on this game. So if you like this video, please be sure to do all that end of the video smooth jazz, that way the algorithm can play nice with it, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.